I'd actually left the pharmacy at one point to go do something with another friend that was like working under his business, and it didn't work out. There were so many times that like I'd hop on Google like, what businesses can I start for cheap? And I did that like a dozen times, and poop scooping was always in that list. It was scary not knowing what I was doing at all. I always joked about it with my friends in group texts, like we should start a poop scooping business, and everyone would laugh at it, you know. So it was just kind of a joke for a while, and then
Welcome back to the Built Local podcast. Today we have a poop scooper out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. We've got David Treadwell from Scoop It Dude. David, how you doing today?
doing well, Clay. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for making time to hop on. I'm looking forward to having you on, talk poop scooping, talk marketing. So before we dive in, for anybody who doesn't know who you are, give them a little bit about yourself. How'd you get into poop scooping? How are things going?
Yeah, thanks so much for having me. Let's see. Yeah, so I started up in 2021, just like a lot of other entrepreneurs, right around when like COVID was hitting. I was working as a pharmacy technician at a small little pharmacy, and of course the pandemic was going on. I'm not sure if I want to do this anymore. I started looking into ways to become my own boss and be able to start my own business. Kind of always had that drive in me, but starting a business just always seemed so complicated and overwhelming whenever I looked at the details, like how do I start an LLC? And so that stopped me so many different times. But I was at a point in my life where it was like, I need to make more money, and I want to be able to spend more time with my family and everything like that. So there were so many times that like I'd hop on Google, like, what businesses can I start for cheap? And I did that like a dozen times, and poop scooping was always in that list. And I'd seen like a few of the franchise trucks, like while I was out delivering medications to nursing homes and stuff like that. I always joked about it with my friends in group texts, like we should start a poop scooping business, and everyone would laugh at it, you know. So it was just kind of a joke for a while, and then I really started kind of taking it serious and doing a little bit of more research on it, and I found some YouTube videos. One guy, the main YouTube character going around right now, not character, but person, is Erica Krupin. But I found someone else, and it was just a guy like out in Florida, and he did it for a year. And that kind of inspired me. I was like, okay, so it is viable. He didn't really go into like the details of how he did it and stuff like that. So I started doing more research, and that's when I found Erica. And she's the one that really like gave me the drive to make me feel like I can do this. So I went for it. I'd actually left the pharmacy at one point to go do something with another friend that was like working under his business, and it didn't work out. And so at that point, I couldn't go back to the pharmacy, and I was like, I have to go for this poop scooping dream of mine, and I made it happen.
That's incredible. And so you were almost, since the thing with your friend didn't work out, it was never like you were part-time pharmacy tech, part-time poop scooper. You went all in on it.
All in at the first, yeah.
Wow. What
Yeah.
was that like? Pushing all your chips in the middle of the table and saying, "We're going all in."
It was scary. I had a small little nest egg to support myself, so I wasn't like too concerned about it, but I definitely needed to get things going right away. Like there was the fire under my butt to get stuff going. So I did the LLC, came up with my logo, and made the Facebook stuff and announced it to the world and everything like that. And I printed off like 2,000 flyers or something like that and passed them out around neighborhoods, made a couple ads, not knowing what I was doing at all. And like 2 weeks goes by, and I have zero traction. And I'm just like wondering to myself, like, did I make a huge freaking mistake? Like, what am I going to do? And so like I went back and revamped everything. First off, my flyers were way too crazy. They had way too much information. I had like 20 different pricing options, and I wasn't explaining who I was or anything like that. So it's like, why did people have a reason to call me? And I redid my ad, and I started looking. I found a networking group, and I found another Facebook page that was all about supporting local businesses during the pandemic. And I made a post in there. I don't think I took a picture of myself, but I introduced myself like, hey, I'm David. I just started my very first business. I've been a lifelong Tulsan, and really like took time to introduce myself pretty much and sold myself. And within 10 minutes of making that post, someone called me, and they were like, hey, I'd love to sign up for your service. And I went out that day and scooped their yard. And then by the end of the day, I had like 4 or 5 other people that called and signed up. And then it just kind of got the ball rolling from there. And I think within like a couple months, I had like 30 or 40 customers. Pretty
Jeez,
crazy. Yeah.
that's insane. That's crazy. I mean, so no traction at all. Flyers were a little bit crazy. Ads weren't working. And then just a
What did
post
I
in the
do?
local Facebook group, a post in the local Facebook group, right?
Yeah. Simple as that.
it shows you just like that's what when people talk about like they want to find the best way to market their business. Is it just ads or is it should I just do door knocking or just do flyers? That's just such a good proof of like just if you hustle and just do a little and if you just hustle in the beginning and just go around and try and get something, eventually there is a point where you have to figure out, okay, this works. I need to stick to it and double down and grow it. But in the beginning, you're just throwing stuff at the wall and figuring it out.
Yeah, and seeing what
More
works.
the more action you take, the more lucky you can get, and
Yeah,
that's incredible.
yeah, the law of average.
Yeah, for sure. So in 2021-ish, right? How many
Mhm.
customers do you have now?
We have almost 130, so and we'll be going into the 5th year. November will be our 5-year anniversary of getting the LLC, and then in January will be, like, the 5th year of when we officially launched. So,
That's awesome. That's awesome.
yeah.
So once you started getting the ball rolling and you got the first 5, how'd you get the next 30 or the next 50? Was that word of mouth? What did you figure out an advertising channel that worked?
A lot of it came from, like, Facebook ads at first. I found one of the poop scooping groups on Facebook, and apparently there's another guy a few towns over from me. We've never met in person, but we've always been friends on Facebook since then. He referred a lot of business to me because he doesn't come into my area. I don't really go into his. So I got a lot of referrals from him in the beginning, and then a lot of it was, like, through networking groups, referrals through Facebook, like, getting mentioned, that sort of thing. So Facebook ads and word of mouth pretty much towards
Okay.
the beginning. And for a while, like, I was really stuck at a plateau of I couldn't pass 80 clients. Whatever the reason, I'd get up there and then like 5 or 6 would drop off, and
Mm,
then I'd get like 5 or 6 people signing up, and then 10 people would drop off, and then I'm trying to like that was like that for several years,
yeah.
until last year, and then we got like 40 clients during the winter rush. Yeah, so just been trying to pass that 130 mark now is where we're
Nice,
at.
nice. Okay, cool. And so what's probably the biggest mistake you made from your path from just 0 customers now to 130? What was the biggest mistake you made along the way? Or did you make any mistakes? I'm just kidding.
I'm not sure if I really made any. There've been times though where I just get complacent and I
Okay.
get comfortable, maybe too comfortable, and like stop posting on social media, not coming up with like enough content to push out there, relying too much on organic growth. That would probably be it. And that may be kind of what I'm dealing with right now too. But lately I've been pushing through and designing. I'm really gearing up. I haven't been doing advertising this summer. I'm really saving all that stuff for the fall and winter and spring rush. Right now, I'm really at the point to where I can sink money back into the business. I can really advertise all month long and everything like that. So
Awesome.
I've just been getting content these past few months built up to be able to hit it hard and push past that.
Awesome. Awesome. Cool. What is when you were getting started, were there any other poop scoopers in your area when you were getting started?
There were a few, not many.
You said the
There were
franchises, but
Yeah, there's 2 big franchises. Can I say 'em? Am I
sure,
allowed
yeah,
to
yeah,
say 'em?
yeah.
Okay, yeah, so Poop 911
Mhm.
and, Scoop Soldiers. Those
Okay.
were, like, the big ones here, and
Mm.
then, there was, like, another small business that they've been doing it for a really long time out here, then a couple other small businesses, and then me, so I came along.
Ye
And since then, obviously, the industry has just exploded, so we went from having, like, 5 or 6 to I guarantee there's probably, like, over 20 to 30 people in my area doing it now. Yeah.
Wow.
And that's really put myself into gear too. It's like, okay, now I gotta get serious and I have to make sure that I'm staying at the top. So,
Yeah, yeah, for sure. What is that like, with all the competition? How do you try to differentiate yourself from the newbies or the people that are just trying to get started or people who have been around a while? How do you
yeah.
Scoop It Dude from them?
Well, I mean, it's kind of hard, to be honest. There's not really a unique selling point to this industry. We all do the same type of thing. There's all these like classes now that teach you how to run a poop scooping business, and everyone's kind of copying that. So it's like we all scoop, we all disinfect, we all take pictures of the gates.
Yeah.
What more can you do? So there's not like a huge unique selling point unless like you want to drop your prices majorly, which I don't recommend.
Yeah.
Really what you have to do is sell yourself. You
Mm,
have to become the personality of your brand. You have to
mm,
put yourself out there and be relatable to your community because
yeah,
they're the one people want to do business with people that they know, like, and trust.
yeah,
That's the main thing. So anything I do now, any advertisements that they show me or my wife or my kids,
yeah,
whenever I get employees, they'll be involved in stuff like that because
yeah,
I don't want just like my logo shoved down everybody's throats. I want people to know that they're going to be doing business with me and see who they're supporting.
yeah.
That's the big deal.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, people love to do business with people. I was talking to somebody the other day and they said they were trying all the ads they could do with their logo and kind of showing videos of their service and showing kind of the features of what they did. And then they just ran an ad that was a family photo that said, "Hey, if you want to get your driving clean." And they said, That is our top performing ad to this
Yeah.
day. It has been for a year and a half. And so it just goes to show, like, 1, people are tired of working with like, people don't wanna work with big, massive corporations. They wanna work with people that, like you said, they like and trust. And when they can see your kids, your wife, and they see the impact they're having on you, and they can trust you as opposed to just some, that means the world. So in your advertising, how do you put your personality across? Are you doing, like, a lot of videos? Or are you just showing you out in your day to day, or
Just pictures. I think one of the main performing ones that we've done is just a picture of me next to a yard sign. I'm holding up a reward plaque that I won in a networking group. I'm by my vehicle and you can see my car magnet.
Yeah.
And then another one of is my beautiful wife. She's smiling and she's in the process of scooping. That's done really well too. So just something simple like that. I haven't done any videos yet that I've put out there. Eventually we'll get there, but
Yeah, for sure. And so what tell us a crazy story. Tell us a crazy poop scooping story. I'm sure you've gotta have some of those, right?
yeah, I've got a few. The biggest one, and it was pretty scary. I had a dog jump through a window that was like aggressive. That would just blew my mind. I never realized that that could happen. So I had this house, and I had been serving them for maybe like a month or so. And every time I walked up the driveway to get to the backyard, this dog would like run up to the window. And it's kind of like an older house, and I could tell like the panes were like a little bit older. And that
Mhm.
thought was in the back of my head, like I wonder how sturdy those windows actually are. And it turns out not that sturdy to like almost 2 months into servicing them. Right when I passed that window, I heard and turned around and that dog was on the driveway and he shook his head, shook all the glass off. He was dazed. Luckily, he was fine. Luckily, he didn't like try and attack me. He just wanted me to get out of his area. But yeah, that was really scary. Luckily, the homeowner was close by and they came and got their dog and took him to the vet and everything. But yeah, that was gnarly. Like, that's not something I imagined would happen whenever I signed up. I've always known that, like, you run the risk of getting bit by a dog if it gets let
Yeah.
out, but didn't think one would jump through a window.
That's like one of those things that it's in the small print at the bottom of the form. It's like, "Are you starting a poop scooping company?" At the small print, "Dogs can jump through windows."
Dog, yeah. Let's see, another one the other day. Talk about being in the right place in the right time. I got into a client's backyard and I smelled smoke and I was like, did they get a new fire pit or something like that? And they smoke cigarettes, whatever. And it was like an older lady and everyone in the house is on disability. I walk around the side of the house and I see smoke pouring out of this trash can that's like up against the house. And I took their garden hose and put it out, obviously. But,
Yeah.
if I would have been like 10 minutes late or something, that side of the house could have caught fire and who knows what would have happened. So,
Oh,
right
gosh.
place at the right time.
Yeah, yeah, no, for sure. The new poop scooping upsell is we will put out your
Yeah,
fires.
we'll put out your fires too. We don't
That
just scoop, we put it out.
that's wild. Okay. Well, cool. Well, so we talked a little about Facebook and getting customers from there. I know you got started with Review Harvest. Do you remember how many reviews you had when you got started with Review Harvest?
I think I had around like 50 or 60 before I reached out to you. Everyone was hollering your name in all the groups and stuff. I was like, all right, I need to give it a shot. They're all having a lot of success with it.
What are you at now?
106.
Yeah, that's
106.
right.
So we pretty much doubled it. And that happened just like that.
Yeah.
It was crazy. So I've loved it. Summer's been pretty slow, so we haven't gotten too many more reviews since then. And
Yeah.
I had a couple clients reach out they weren't happy with. They thought they were getting the messages too often. So I kind of backed off on how often it's being sent out. But yeah, the guy was all like, "I'll leave you a review if you want, but just quit sending them to my phone." It's like, well, if you just leave the review, they'll stop. Or
Yeah.
you can just type stop and it will stop. But whatever.
Yeah, yeah, and just for anybody listening, you can adjust the number of follow-ups in the
Yeah.
dashboard, but yeah, people it's so funny 'cause we obviously, when you send out 500,000 review requests, every couple months like we do, we get that, we hear that happening, "Hey, we sent too many review requests," whatever, and a lot of times people will be like, "Oh, yeah," they'll tell the business owner, like, "Hey, yeah, I got 6 texts," and I'm like, "That's impossible," and we go look at the
Yeah.
record, like, "Hey, they got 2 texts," like, it's such
Blown
drastic
it out of proportion.
overestimate how many they actually got, but yeah, what's been your favorite part? I mean, obviously, you went from 50 reviews to over 100 reviews. 100 is a huge milestone. Congrats, man. But what's been your
Thank
favorite
you.
part of Review Harvest besides, just all the new reviews?
I like that you're able to, like, add an image to it. I think
Mm,
that really sells it. Like, I put that image that I was talking about with my wife, and then I did the same one,
yeah,
and that one really hit. For whatever reason, people respond to women better, I think,
yeah.
than they do my face. I think that's really cool. I think another great aspect of it is the AI response. That really clears up some time so you don't have to do it. I personally do like to go in there and leave my responses, but there are times when I've got too much going on. So it's nice to be able to have that where it just replies right away. So it's super cool. And it's just the user interface is super simple. Perfect.
Easy to use.
Glad I went through with it.
Awesome, awesome, cool, cool. You talked a little bit about preparing some content and preparing for the fall and the spring rush and the winter rush. What does that look like? Walk us through what are the plans? How are you gonna when you're like, all right, it's time to turn it on. What is that process gonna be like for you?
Yeah, so we'll be running some ads, of course, really boosting the budget on those on the weekends to get that out whenever people are doing that sort of thing.
That's a pro tip right there.
Yeah, weekends are always good to boost that budget. One of the main things that I'm gonna do too is what's called fiber rounds, and what that is you have like a good flyer or door hanger. Because what I'm really wanting to do is get some more route density. We
Yeah.
have a big service route, and it's dense in some areas, but it could be denser.
Ye
So fiber rounds, you take a flyer or door hanger and you put one next door to your client, one on the other next door, and then 3 houses across the street from them. We have a lot of those to get out, so we're gonna be doing that. Just pushing a lot more ads than what we've done in the past,
Yeah.
and doing those fiber rounds. That's pretty much it. Maybe get a door knocker, someone that can really sell. That's
Okay.
not me. I don't have the time to do that right now, but we're exploring that too, so
Okay. Cool. Yeah, no, those 5 rounds are, done the right way and if done effectively, they can be huge because
you d
you go from doing 1 or 2 houses on the street to doing 10 houses on the street, and that just
yeah.
was walking from house to house is a lot better than driving 20 minutes, you know?
Yeah, and I mean, we have a few neighborhoods where, like, we have one person on the street, and then a couple on the next street over, and then a couple on the next over, so if we can really get a few more around that area, that's 10 to 20 houses you can do just like that. Route
That's
density is key in this business, so, another thing we're gonna be doing is, I really need to step up my email marketing and reach out to past clients. There's so many, there's hundreds of past clients, and reaching out to them. Another thing about Review Harvest that I liked is it sent out reviews to all the old clients that I used to service, and we actually had people contact us to sign back up for service just because of that. So that was a really another cool thing about that.
yeah, that's huge, that's awesome. Yeah, that's like someone that's spent money with you and worked with you before is a lot more likely to do it again as long as you
They're
did.
they're the best people. Yeah, they already know you. They know what kind of service they're gonna get and what to expect. So yeah,
Yeah,
you need to be reaching out to those people.
that's huge. So what's the goal for, come this time next year, what's the goal for how many clients you have? What's kind of the plan?
I want to pass 200.
Awesome.
There's
Yeah.
no reason why we can't do that. So I need to get an employee on board. Right now, it's just my wife and I. We can handle the route just fine.
Yep.
And we're usually wrapped up by like 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, so we can get our kids from school and whatnot. But if we want to take on more business, we need to get another employee. So that's the next step. We're gonna push past through 200 just like that, smooth like butter.
Heck yeah, that'd be
And then
huge.
just keep growing from there. That's the plan for sure.
Sweet.
And it's been great. Can I talk about my revenue real quick and just
Yeah,
like
for
the
sure.
goals with that? So the first year, like some people may struggle with this and may not see like the light at the end of the tunnel, and it can really take a lot of time before this business blows up. There's some people that can start up and they're at like 200 clients within the first year, and others they're around 20 or 30. So I mean, it takes a long time for some people. But the first year, I only made $27,000.
Mhm,
The
mhm,
second year, 48,000. The
mm.
third year, 68. The fourth year, 89,000. And then as of right now, we're at $82,000 just for this year. So we're gonna hit like 120 to 130,000 in
That
revenue.
that's incredible.
So, adding 20 to $30,000 extra every single year is like a big boost. So
Oh, for sure, for
yeah.
sure. I mean, think about getting that. Obviously, as business owners, as we know, it's hard, it's stressful, whatever, but getting a 30, 40, $50,000 raise each year isn't too shabby.
It's huge, and I'll be completely honest, before this, I'd never made over 40 really $35,000 a year before I started this business. So, it's definitely something that anyone can do. You just have to figure out what works and stay consistent and really dedicate yourself, and, you can improve your quality of life by tenfold.
Man, there is money in poop, and that
It's
is awesome
wild.
to hear. That is awesome to hear because I know that there's gonna be people. I mean, the main audience people that watch this are, people starting a home service business owners or home service business owners and a lot of poop scoopers as well. And so you can take David's story as encouragement. And so What's one thing that you would wanna kinda leave before we close up here? What's one thing you would wanna leave with maybe a poop scooper or somebody starting any sort of home service, when they're getting started to just encourage them?
Be kind to yourself. Don't compare yourself to other people and what they're doing. That's a big mood killer.
Mm.
That'll get you really down and out, and you'll get imposter syndrome, and there's no need for that. Stay focused on what you're doing, stay in your lane. Sure, look at other people and see what they're doing, that can help too, but
Mhm.
don't ever compare yourself and be like, "They're at this amount, why aren't I there? I must be doing something wrong, I'm not cut out for this." Just simple as that, be kind to yourself because you deserve it. You're worth the success that this business can bring, so,
And
yeah.
keep going. I mean, I think that's the
Keep
big
going,
test.
keep pushing.
I mean, you're like year 1, year 2, year 3. A lot of people are like month 3, and they're like, "Why isn't this $100,000 a year business
Yeah,
yet?" You know?
takes time and patience, a lot of hard work, for sure.
For sure. Awesome.
Another thing, let me leave one more thing. It's so simple. Answer your phone, and when you do, say your business name. Don't just like be like, "Hello." There's so many times when I've called businesses like, I need a lawnscaping or I need a plumber, and they just answer. They're like, "Hello," and I'm like, "Did I call the right number? Like, what's going on here?" There's so many times I've had people call and they're like, "I've called 5 other companies. You're the first one that's actually picked up. So glad I can speak to somebody." I do not miss phone calls. Okay, I'm human. I miss them every now and then, but I'll see like I missed it a couple minutes ago and I call right back. So stay on top of your phone, and I guarantee you will close sales just by doing that, just by answering your phone.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, so we say it all the time in this podcast, everybody that hops on, it's like, if you know literally about marketing sales, you're able to provide a quality service and you can communicate with customers, the world is your oyster.
Yeah, you're
You can make
golden.
a decent amount of money, in home services. So that's incredible. Well, David, thanks for having us on.
Awesome. Thanks so much for having me, Clay. Appreciate it.